Good afternoon, Cherries fans, and welcome to this latest show here on Up the Cherries and All Departments. Now, before I do welcome on my guest, here's a little bit about our sponsors, Dental on the Banks. To find out what they can do for you, visit dentalonthebanks.co.uk. So, of course, we have got West Ham on Sunday. We've already done the opposition preview show, but they did have a game last night. And what I wanted to do was probe and find out a little bit more about how the Europa Conference League is affecting the Premier League, or is it not? And what about West Ham's Academy of Football? Of course, Harry Redknapp was discussing with us about the great players he brought through. Have West Ham still got some players to bring through? Let's find out. It is a pleasure to welcome on Andy Miles. Good afternoon, Andy. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, mate. Not bad, not bad. I'm not going to lie, I got in quite late last night, so obviously we're recording this on Friday. I got in about midnight after the win yesterday, so can't complain, mate. Can't complain. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me on.
not a problem at all. An absolute pleasure to have you on. And I wanted to discuss because, of course, although you've had a fantastic run in this European Europa Conference League, um, of course, the Premier League form has been affected quite a bit as well. And
Yeah.
let's start off with the Europa Conference League. So, a fantastic result last night against Ghent. Um, did you expect, the result that you got last night, or did you expect it to be a little bit tougher?
To be honest, I'll go back a couple of steps. Obviously, our 5-1 thrashing by Newcastle has been the
Yes.
best thing what's happened. No one likes to see their team lose 5-1,
Yeah,
but since
exactly.
that's happened, we've just picked up results. And I'm not going to lie. There's a bit of turmoil at the minute between the fans and the manager, which I get. I do get, and I'm not. I'm going to be honest. I am. I'm always out. I think he needs to go in the summer. I think he's
Okay.
run its course, and I think we need to get a progressive manager, a younger manager who can adapt. But
Hmm.
the results, what we've got, yeah, you can't take it. But with regards to the result last night, a draw last week, because obviously we won all the games before that, including qualification. The draw
Yeah.
last week was the best result we had because he
Yes.
picked the strongest 11 last night. If we come
Hmm.
away with that, like a 2-0 win or a 1-0 win last week, I think we might have been complacent and we may have lost. But our stronger 11 obviously caused the damage last night.
Do you feel though, with this Europa Conference League and playing on Thursdays and then normally Saturday matches, Sunday matches, do you feel that it has affected the Premier League campaign?
No, because we finished seventh last year and we was in Europa League and we got all the way to the semi-final. I
Yeah.
think it's a lot to do with, as we just mentioned off air, briefly, is the coaching staff has changed.
Hmm.
So we've brought Nevin's come in. Nevin's always been there. Sorry. So we've had what's his name, Warburton come in. Alan
Yes.
Irvine's left. Stuart Pearce has left. So we've had a little bit of stuff behind the scenes, which can cause it. But our signings, we've spent 180 million. Like
Mhm.
Paqueta, I think is world class. When we signed him
Oh,
up, I said
quality.
we've bought a quality player, but we've only started. We've seen glimpses, but the last 3 or 4 games, we've seen why we bought him. He doesn't remind me of a Brazilian player. He reminds me of an Argentine. He gets stuck in and
Yeah.
wins the tackles. Aguerd, we missed him for the first part of the season till December, I think, end
Yeah.
of November, December. So that's another summer signing, which hasn't. Skamaka, obviously, our
Mhm.
record signing. Moyes said he took 2 years to find the perfect striker and didn't play him. Now he's injured, so would he? Has he played his last game for the club? So we've had stuff going on off behind the scenes, and I
Yeah.
think the one that was annoying is the Declan Rice situation. This has been going on for like 3 years. When is he leaving? How
Mhm.
much is his worth? And that's the. I think obviously him being the club captain now instead of the team captain, what he was last year. He said that a lot of stuff goes on. Obviously, you may find out they have to attend Zoom meetings. They have to go and represent the club at
Mhm.
the Premier League. They have to do all this stuff, which not many fans realise. Do you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
have to, like
exactly.
you have to do that. So I don't know about you. Obviously, you've got the goalkeeper, but have you got a club captain, or is he the full captain now? Do you know your
He is the
goalkeeper?
full captain now. Yeah,
No,
Neto has been given the armband.
but I mean, like beforehand, I can't remember who your captain was before, but he wasn't playing
Rory
all the
Kelly.
time. Yeah, so obviously they do. So Noble was attending all the meetings for Rice last
Mm.
year, etc. So I think that has played a part. But with regards to, I would never turn the Conference League down or Europa League. European away games, home games. There's no
Mhm.
feeling like it, mate. There really isn't.
Of course, you mentioned there that you are Moyes out, and of course, Moyes did a decent job last season. Do you feel it is just down to the coaching that he's brought in, or do you feel that Moyes has made a number of mistakes?
He's very stubborn. He only
Hmm.
he goes with what, but it's proved me wrong. Right, that's the thing. It has proved me. He's gone back to what he knows, and we've got the results. Like apart when we played Fulham, apart from Danny Ings, there were all the players from last season. He went back.
Yeah.
He stripped everything, and obviously we got the result there. Arsenal, we had obviously Paqueta playing, etc. I just think he's not old. I think he's like 59 or nearly turning
Hmm.
60. So he's not an old, but he played the same way at Everton. He played the same way at Manchester United, Sunderland. He only knows that one way, and I
Yeah.
would love another. I would love a Graham Potter or a Michael Carrick to come in, play good football, and work hard. Look what he's done for Middlesbrough, for example. And Potter, I think he would be a great addition to West Ham, and he plays the youth. And now, obviously, I'm going to the game. We're playing Arsenal in the FA Youth final at the Emirates on Tuesday. We
Yeah.
sold 7,000 away fans are going to the Emirates to an FA Cup Youth final. So we've got a very bright future in the development, and I think someone like Potter, we have got some talent in that youth team, and I think he will embed them into the team as well.
And that's quite interesting you mentioned that, of course, because we had Harry Redknapp on and we were speaking
Yeah,
about the youth players that he brought through at West Ham.
yeah.
Do you feel that there could well be the next golden generation? Here's a question for you:
hmm
the Europa Conference League. You know,
Yeah,
would you take winning the Europa Conference League but being relegated, or would you say, look, forget the Europa Conference League, just stay in the Premier League? I know you'd like both, but if there was one or the other, which way would you go?
Conference League really would.
You'd
I'll go Conference.
you'd be
It's a
happy.
trophy.
No, no, true. But you would be happy to go to, say, for example, Roma on maybe a Thursday night and then Rotherham on the Saturday.
What's wrong with Rotherham? No, I'm joking. No, no. Honestly, I wouldn't.
There's everything wrong with Rotherham.
Honestly, uh, honestly, I don't think we're going to get relegated. But like you said, if I had to pick, I probably would swing that way. But this has been a great opportunity, and that's where I've got to give Moyes credit. Like, I would like to have seen more. Like our last game when we went away to Romania, we played so many
Yes.
kids. Where Ollie Scarles, 16 years of age, put
Hmm.
a world class performance in at left wing back. Divine
Yeah.
Mubamba, he, I'll tell you what, mate, they have got a bright future. Like honestly, Mubama got a hat trick against Southampton. I went to the semi final at the London Stadium when we beat Southampton. We
Yeah.
smashed them, and he got a hat trick, mate. There's players all over that pitch, and you could probably go, oh, you put your West Ham hat on, but honestly, we got to the final as well of the FA Youth. We won the league. The under
Yeah,
18s won the league. We beat Arsenal 2-0 on set. Like these players are going somewhere, and I'm very
mhm,
happy. The under 23s I can write off. Like
yeah,
they're okay. I think we've slowly saw, and we saw, for example, Connor Coventry is at loan. I think he's on loan at Rotherham at the minute, and we've got a couple even in League Two. If your young players are not going to a championship, I know Connor Coventry is an exception. If they're going to League One and League Two, that means they're not going to make it. If I would
yeah.
love to see them, a couple of them go on loan to the Championship, and then they'll be 18, 19, and then they'll be embedded into the West Ham team after that.
And in fact, that's really what Harry did say as well. Is that getting players out
I
on
love
loan and
Harry by
leave?
the way. I love Harry by the way. He's a top bloke. He's unreal.
Oh, he
He's
is.
unreal.
He's brilliant. Really, really nice bloke. And it's true what he says. Utilise the loan market because playing against other teams, in a youth competition, okay, it might not sound that exciting as compared to the Premier League, but playing against for Rotherham against Bristol City, for example, you know that's experience. That's experience in a
get, get,
competitive
get,
game.
getting tackled by flipping 30-year-old experienced men, not like little kids giving you a
Yes.
little clap, getting a few tackles and realise the atmosphere. Like, that's what I would love, like the younger games to get more attendance, but you just can't
Mhm.
do it. But going to stadiums, like what you said, like even who's in the championship? I'm just trying to think. Like my mate's a Luton fan, they might get promoted, but that's who I
Yeah.
thought of it as an exception. Going to stadiums like that, experience that's when Moyes has. He has put a couple of the youngsters on, like the Divine's come on a couple of times. He's gone away with the match day squad. Even that is just experience. Do you know what I mean? It
Yes.
is. And obviously I mentioned him, Jermaine Defoe. Obviously come on loan to you guys.
Well, exactly.
Look what happened to him.
Well, he was a fantastic player. Of course, he come back. Did fantastic for Harry as well. And again, a player that we spoke about in quite some detail with Harry. And yeah, it would he have been, if he had just been left, like a lot of players nowadays, was left in that youth setup, just playing against kids from Chelsea, for example,
Yeah,
people of a similar age. What he did was he come down, to Bournemouth and was playing in big games. Okay, we just missed out on the playoffs that season, but battling against teams like Wigan, Reading, and tough, seasoned professionals. And I think that made him a better player, really.
yeah. Look at Harry Kane. He went on loan to Millwall and Leicester.
Yeah.
Look what happened to. I love the loan market, and like you said, I think a lot of Championship clubs will be in, especially if we manage to beat Arsenal on
Yeah.
Tuesday as well. I think a couple may stay around because I think that they could step up. Like I said, on he's 16 years of age and he's a
Mhm.
different left back. You don't really come across very good left backs at a young
Yeah.
age, to be honest, and they're like gems. But Divine Mubamba, like I said, 18 years of age. He's got the physique already. He's not like Joe. When their body's not turned into a man yet, if that makes sense. They've got missed body
Yes.
parts, like longer, like not shorter legs still, except. But he's got everything. He's got pace, power, and everything. And like you said, I would playing. I do. I understand where everyone's coming from about the Conference League has affected. I just think we've been unlucky in some of the games as well. Like it's not like we. If you look at our goal difference compared to anyone else, it's not like we are letting goals in for fun. We just haven't been scoring. That's the problem in the Premier League.
With this Conference League, because I'm just looking at the teams that you've played. Anderlecht, a decent side.
They got knocked out
Paper
last
FC,
night, so they got to the semi-final, the
yes,
quarter-final, sorry, as well. So it's mad.
yeah. So there is some real quality, but on the spin side of that, playing a team, and this is no disrespect to the Cypriot Premier League or whatever
What
you
Iron
call
Apple
it.
FC? Iron Apple FC, yeah.
Yes, yeah, AK Larnaca. Now is that surely those sort of games has Moyes utilised the youth squad and brought through a couple of players, and is that a real benefit of playing in this Europa Conference League?
Yeah, we done it. We done it last year as well. So obviously Devine got his first goal for the club. He got one out in Romania, but got chalked off, which rightly
Yeah,
he got his first goal. We've got another player, Potts, who's a young player, the son of Steve Potts, a West Ham legend,
yeah,
played over 600
of
games.
course.
Like you said, you got Ollie Scarles, you've got players like Reece Oxford. Like it is you can just go through that starting 11, and Moyes hasn't just chucked them all in. He's put experience. Like when we went away to Romania, he had the likes of Pablo Fornals playing with him, Mikel Antonio come on for a bit, and Declan Rice is a key part to that. And Noble obviously is coming as a sporting director. You see him in all the under 18 games, except even at the semi final. I keep coming back to it.
Yeah,
Southampton at home, there was first team players there as well, like
yeah,
watching them and talking to them. So I'm not just like I get what they're saying. West, we've got that saying everywhere. The Academy of Football. We
yeah.
have had fantastic players who have come through, like what like through Harry, but we've not had obviously Noble, Declan. It's not like we're producing them every year. But if you look through the Premier League, for example, there really isn't many. I know Man City have got Lewis and Foden,
Yeah.
but when was the last time they brought someone for like then Man United? You think probably Rashford, who was the one before. There's not many players. Chelsea, you can sort of make the exception for with regards to Mason Mount, Tomori, obviously, who's now end up at AC Milan doing them loan deals. But
Yeah.
if in your opinion as well, there's not many homegrown players given the opportunity in the Premier League. There really isn't. A lot of them are bought
Mhm.
in.
And I think that's one of the difficulties with our football club at the moment is because we haven't got the academy, we haven't got the training ground. And like Harry was saying, it's so important to be playing against teams like West Ham in youth competitions because playing against, lower league sides,
Yeah.
um, you know, Yeovil, for example, or Maidenhead, or someone like that, I don't see the real benefit of that. But with regards to, because of course you played last night, you played a strong team.
Mm.
Do you feel that we're going to see coming because there's going to be that bit of fatigue
Yeah.
going into the Bournemouth game? Do you feel that what West Ham will do and David Moyes will do is they will drop or rest a couple of those players, or do you feel that those players that played last night might actually start against Bournemouth because they're on that roll?
I think there will only be one survivor in the back four. I think Sufal. I think
Yeah,
Creswell will come back into the starting 11. Ogbonna was suspended last night, so you could maybe see him and Kara come in or Aguerd. But Zuma, David Moyes at 70th minute, he brought Declan Rice, Zuma. He brought a lot of the players off yesterday,
yeah,
so I think they may play. Me personally, I've just done this on another stream. I reckon Fabianski will be in goal. I reckon it'll be Creswell. Um, I'm going to say Aguerd actually. I think Aguerd, Zuma, and
mm,
Sufal, something like that. Or Rice will play. I think Suchek might get a rest, so we'll have Flynn Downs in there who keeps the ball a lot quicker.
yeah,
But Mikel Antonio, good news for you. It looks like he was limping a little bit. I don't know whether he was just
mm,
knackered, so I don't think he may play. But the only thing is, Maxwell Cornet may play, which is obviously
yes,
pace. So obviously it'll be Ben Rama,
hmm,
Bowen, um, maybe Cornet up front. But the one for me, mate, is the one to worry about is Declan and Paqueta. I think the last two games they've
yeah.
shown their real class, and I think that might be the key. If they're on it, I think it might be a damage for you.
Of course, both sides are looking fairly safe. And I've done a little bit of maths, and we will be well clear if the
Hmm.
results all go for us. You can't imagine Forest getting
Yeah, like
anything against
like I said, playing Sunday, we know all the results, so it's in.
Yeah,
We know exactly what we're playing for come Sunday.
the gap could well be what it is now, because looking at the games that that bottom three have got, you know. you wouldn't actually expect them to, or it maybe Leicester are probably the most likely, but the other two you probably wouldn't expect them to pick anything up. But if that's the case, and we're going in, with surely a draw would suit both sides, and both are pretty much safe.
Yeah,
Whoever wins,
we said it on Chris's show, didn't I? I
yeah,
sort of went for a draw. Said depending on how the results. You never know, mate. Like we've both been playing a very attacking football recently. Obviously, you got
mhm.
3 goals at Spurs. Obviously, we got 2 goals against Arsenal, 4 last night. This has probably got 0-0 written all over
It probably has, yeah. To be honest,
it. But with regards to players, like I've Gary O'Neill, obviously he's ex West Ham, and whenever I saw him play for West Ham, he put 110% in. He loved his time at the club as well, and he's got you playing, mate. Tavernier, Billing. I'm a huge fan of Billing. I'd love him at West Ham. I really would. Even when you first sign him, the one who worries me is you'll probably say he's injured now. It probably is Kiefer Moore. I worry about him. If he's given the opportunity, I think he can cause some some damage. I think Solanke. I think our centre halves will be able to handle Solanke. I think he's done well, but
yeah.
I think Kiefer Moore is just a different animal, in my opinion.
He's just a big man, isn't he? He's the
Yeah,
target man and good in the air. Um, but yeah, I was actually going to ask you about Gary O'Neill because he's come under a lot of flack
yeah.
from the Bournemouth fans, and I'm a big fan of Gary's. Some of the flack he's come under is abhorrent. It's just horrible. And personally, I think he's done a very, very good job considering what Scott Parker, of course, another West Ham player, kind of left him in
Yeah.
after that 9-0 defeat. Do you feel that sometimes it's be careful what you wish for, because there's been people been saying about Marcelo Bielsa, Knutson from
Well,
Bodo Glimt,
God.
you know,
I'm not gonna. Right, don't take this. Would you take David Moyes in the summer?
I'd keep Gary O'Neill.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who else is out there? Like realistically, who maybe like you said, like I said, I would love Potter or Carrick. I can't see
Yeah.
Graham Potter coming to Bournemouth. To be perfectly honest, I'm not no. Just Carrick maybe if no one
Mm.
big comes in for him, but you never know. Middlesbrough may get promoted. Look what Eddie Howe done for you. Who would have thought
Exactly.
Eddie Howe would have been the like he's uh what I would maybe do is like you said you've had that bounce, but if you get someone experienced to come in alongside him like a number two,
Yeah.
someone someone with experience who's done it, I
Mhm.
think that might be a benefit as well. But yeah, I would stick with him. I would
Oh,
personally.
most definitely. He's come under so much criticism, and you know, I just I'm delighted that he's proving everybody wrong. I'm
Did you
delighted.
did did you think you could beat Liverpool? Did you think you could go and Tottenham at win? It's mad. It is
No.
mad. It's mad to think. 3 of the last 5 you won, haven't you? Three wins out of
Yes.
the last 5. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
have. And I think the criticism of Gary O'Neill come around just after the World Cup, but we had injuries. There was players who were fatigued from that. Kiefer Moore and Chris Metham haven't really been what they were before the World Cup. Um, but I think Gary's done an excellent job, and for a first spell in management, it doesn't come harder than managing in the Premier League. It's been thrown into the cauldron, and I think he's keeping a squad that was nailed on for relegation by most pundits.
and I think with regards to the teams what go down, I think you could nick a couple of players. For example, if a Forest goes down or an
Yeah.
Everton, if you stay up, you could get some. There's some good players in that squad. Like I had a question who the 3 teams I reckon will go down, and I said Southampton, Forest, and Everton. I said that
Yeah.
a month ago, and the 3 players who I would take, obviously, I'll take James Ward-Prowse,
Yeah.
I'll take Dwight McNeil, and I'll take Johnson from Forest.
Hmm.
They're my 3. I think if Forest, if none of the big clubs come in, like Brent Johnson for you would be outstanding. Do you know what I mean? Someone to get
Oh,
in behind.
brilliant.
Someone like, I think you could, like, if you've got that momentum, you play good football. I think that's the market. The
Mm,
teams will go down. Like if Leicester, Chris, if you're watching, if Leicester did go down, you could even nick a couple of the Leicester players. They've got some good, like I like Luke Thomas, the left back. They've a lot of
yeah.
players have got a lot of the teams what go down have got good players, and if you
Mm.
they've got the experience, and I think that could be good for Bournemouth as well.
Of course, Jesse Lingard was at West Ham, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
he's at Forest. He hasn't really done much at Forest. You know,
Did you see him against Man United? It looks like he's put on a few pounds as well, where he's not been
yes.
playing.
I'm guessing you're quite happy, or did you envisage he wasn't going to do much for Forest?
Well, it's like you never fall in love with a lone player. That's all I'm
Yeah,
going to say, and I think that's what West Ham fans done. Um, I didn't think he would because of the what have they made? It's like 27 signings. Like you
yeah.
can't. West Ham made seven,
Mm,
and not all of them have embedded it. Like it's just like I think they had a couple of like you said the fluke result, like beating Liverpool,
mhm.
who are on a low. But no, like if Bournemouth done 27 changes, you'd be like, what the hell's happened? Do you know what I
Well,
mean? It's
exactly. I don't know where we'd start, to be perfectly honest. You know, it doesn't make any sense. Steve Cook, a player who has been there, done that, got the t-shirt, who was brilliant for us in the Premier League, they're not even playing him.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. No,
crazy.
yeah, no, it's mad. But with regards to Bournemouth, I've always, like I said, I've got family from down there. I've always had a soft. And the thing is, mate, it's even. We've played 11 games in the Premier League, 4 wins each and 3 draws. So draws written on the card, so it'll be 4-4-4, won't it?
Well,
The
yeah,
record.
exactly. I wouldn't be surprised. But actually, what we did is during cherry picking, the show that went live this morning, we actually looked at the transfer activity between Bournemouth and West Ham, and there's been a lot
Yeah.
of it. Of course, Rio was on loan here. Jermaine, as we mentioned, was on here, loan here. There's been so much. Matty Holland, of
Ju,
course,
ju,
joined
ju,
Bournemouth.
Junior Stanislas,
Junior
Ryan Frederick,
Stanislas, yep,
Ryan.
Fredericks,
Who else? Who else? Obviously Gary O'Neill, but obviously
yep.
I'm trying to think who else. I think there was a couple
There's
of
a
other players who,
huge list,
yeah,
huge list.
like you said, I think Harry's just was the go between. I think to just yeah, he could probably, like you said, when West Ham. I think that's what he said as well. When I've seen him on a couple of interviews, that's what he said. He used to love sending players out on loan to Bournemouth because when West Ham weren't playing during the week and Bournemouth were, he could go just up the road and watch them in the evening. So, but no, there is a. Like I said, I've not got a bad word to say against. Like it's a miracle that a small club like Bournemouth, where you were a few years ago, and now you're in the Premier League. And like you said, I think you're going to stay up, mate. And yeah, like I said, we're giving all this hype up about the game on Sunday, and it's probably got 0-0 written all over it.
Oh, exactly, mate. I think, especially after the decent results that we've had, us beating Spurs as well, it would just make sense, wouldn't it? Just to follow it up with a boring nil-nil draw. No.
But I think it's the battle in the midfield, mate. To be honest, if it's like
Yeah.
Rice, Suchek, and Paqueta, I would love
Mm,
to see him and Billing go at it. That'll be a good battle
yeah.
to have. Both strong. I'm not gonna. I've watched a few of the highlights. I think the key will be set pieces. Obviously, set pieces last year we scored a third of our goals from set pieces last year, and our
Mhm.
60 goals. We've not really. Obviously, we scored one last night. We've scored a couple recently. It depends if we've got our balls on the money, and you've got the likes of Suchek. Obviously, Zuma scored against you in the reverse fixture. If we have anything like that, if you can deal with that, I think you've got a chance as well on Sunday.
Yeah, no, fair enough. To be honest, we have got better at defending the set pieces. Set pieces were awful earlier on in the season. We conceded them for fun, but I think Jack Stevens has kind of shored that up a little bit. Unfortunately, he can't play against Southampton, but to be honest, I don't think we've got too much to worry about from them.
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. I think well, obviously they're playing later.
Hmm.
I think we done a fit. I reckon it'll be 4 or 5 nil later. and that's them
Yeah,
pretty much gone. I think
yeah,
if
I
Everton
think so.
don't pick up a result this weekend, I think they're gone as well. I don't think they're going to get out of it either.
See, it's always an interesting one with Everton because they've always had the knack of pulling themselves out of it. And like I was saying the other day, I think that Sean Dyche had a better team at Burnley than he does at Everton. I think the
He
team at
does.
Everton are poor.
They're very old. Seamus Coleman, bless him, what a legend he's been for them. He's part of,
Mm.
and they've got like Patterson who plays for Scotland, and like he's not playing. He's gone back to Tarkowski. I think he's a good. Connor Cody was in that starting 11 before, and
Yeah,
he can't even get in. And it's like, why are you making too many changes? But they haven't got a striker. Calvert Lewin is obviously broken, made of glass. If
yeah,
he was fully fit, then then they would have, or even if they had any of our strikers, mate, even probably score 10 goals for them if they had a striker who can put the ball in the net. But unfortunately, they haven't got a striker. You don't score enough goals, you go get relegated.
exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Andy. It's been a pleasure talking to you again. All the very, very best for West Ham for the rest of the
Well,
season.
thank you, man.
How do you reckon it's gonna go this weekend? I'm going for a 2-1 win for Bournemouth, which, if everything is teed up right, that would put us 9 points above the relegation zone. I think that'd probably be enough.
We've said a draw. Obviously, we'll joke it'll be a draw, but I'm going to go 2-1 win for West Ham as well, just to make it interesting. And then what I'll
Yeah,
do as well is I'll come on, maybe Monday. I'll come on for 20 minutes and we'll just give our reaction to the game. If you want, I'll come on after that on Monday for you as
yeah,
well.
absolutely fine. We do a free for all. We are doing a free for all at 8 o'clock as well on Sunday. So feel free if you do want to join in that. But
Yeah,
we'll happily have you on Monday as well if you want.
yeah, no, sounds good, mate. Like I said, good. I reckon we'll speak off air anyway, but I reckon we've
Yeah,
both got enough to start, and I just hope it's not a bore 0-0 on Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Andy, and we'll catch up with you very, very soon.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
All the best, mate. Take care.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on this show. Please hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell button below to be alerted to any new videos we do here on Up the Cherries and Old Apartments. Please do also check out our Harry Redknapp interviews. You can find those in the interview sections. Also, do check out the opposition preview show, plus, of course, the weekly edition of Cherry Picking that was done earlier on today. Until the next video, though, up the cherries, and we'll see you for the free for all.